Stephen Speak, the podcast about everything and nothing. Don't forget to subscribe. Hello, welcome to Stephen Speak. This is the, how are you, by the way? I keep forgetting to do that recently, so I apologise. Hope you're all doing well. This is the last episode of Stephen Speak Series 1. Amazingly. It's been a bit of a ride. I hope you've enjoyed this series. I've had immense pleasure producing it and, talking crap into your ears. It's been really nice for me to get things out of my brain and just into the ether. And I don't have a lot of listeners, but hopefully that'll change. I might reach a bigger audience. Gonna have some changes as I've been updating you throughout the series, and hopefully when I return in a few weeks' time, I'm not too sure when I return yet, maybe November, I want to get everything sorted, so I'll be back with episodes including guests, which is very exciting. I'm going to fully utilise my new audio interface, so hopefully that'll all be up and running. I'm hoping I'll also have a new what do you call it? Jingle, intro and outro, and for Stephen Speak and Stephen Speak Extra, and some new artwork and cover pages, and I'm hoping to have also uploaded everything to YouTube as well. So quite ambitious. I do have a full-time job, so please bear with me. When I update my logo and stuff, I'm going to go back through all my previous podcasts and update all the episode artwork, including names. And I'm going to have a slightly different format of artwork going forward as well. So, I'm really trying my best to, make it the best experience for me as well as you. I may also start doing some video podcasts as well. I don't want it to be, for me, I don't want it to be too much of a process, though. I don't want it to be to the point where it's not fun because there's a lot of production. I started this podcast on the basis that I can just talk down to this microphone. I don't talk down to the microphone. I don't abuse it. I can talk into the microphone, and have very little, little to do with it. I don't like editing. I don't want to edit it. I've got my intros and outros sorted at the moment, so literally I just record in between that. I adjust where they are. Depending on the length of the podcast, and boom, master it and upload it, and a bit of a blurb and stuff like that. So, but I'm gonna start having templates for the for the Buzzsprout. Hopefully, also I'll have my own website as well. I'm gonna try and start my own website with links to everything, social media. I might even start a little blog on there as well, just for some, just for some extra creative output for me. And also a bit of content for you guys. So this is going to be a little bit of different Stephen Speak today. Going to split it into a couple of different sections, but I thought it might be fun just to answer some questions randomly, literally. And I found a random question generator on Tinternet because the internet has everything. So I'm going to literally generate questions and see where it takes me. Now, this random generator is on a website called faculty.washington.edu, so I'm guessing this is like Washington University have come up with this. I presume so. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's just literally this website, and it just produces random questions. So I've only looked at a couple so far. So here we go. Here's the first one. So I'll just refresh it. And it says, mountains or ocean? Well, I'm scared of drowning, but I also don't like walking uphill. So I think I'd go for ocean still, as long as I'm in a nice, safe, comfortable, catered boat or seafaring liner. With lots of life preserves and safety measures, because I don't want to drown. And also not go too far with massive waves. Question 2. What's on your bucket list this year? Oh, we're nearly the end of the year now, aren't we? What? I don't really know. Probably this actually, probably to have a get this podcast up and running and stick to it. Like I know that might sound like a bit of a lame thing to say, but I've said before on the podcast, I don't really stick to stuff. I'm quite flaky, and I wanted some balance and some structure to something as well as being creative, and I feel like this is giving it to me. So yeah, might be a bit of a lame bucket list, but I think this podcast and sticking to it. Another question: when was the last time you changed your opinion about something major? Ooh. I don't know. I'm quite set in my. I feel like I'm quite set in my opinions, and I don't think there's many things that I've changed my opinion on, especially recently. I don't know. I don't think there is an answer to that one for me, unless anyone can think of it. I'm quite contradictory in the fact that I'm not necessarily a fence sitter, but I can see most sides to things. So I am kind of like Switzerland. I'm a little bit neutral. But if I am on side with a project or idea or opinion, then generally that doesn't change. But when I'm looking outside and kind of analysing something, I can see all sides, but I'll still have an opinion about it. Yeah, so I don't think I've got an answer to that. So sorry, failed on that one. Do you have any nicknames? Oh my god. School for me was nickname central. First stop Stephen. I had lots of nicknames, and I don't feel any of them were that bad, to be honest. I don't really feel like, apart from the nicknames that bullies used to call you, but they didn't really stick. They were just like bully names. So one of them was like Mr. Blobby because I was a bit chunky. Yeah. If I could hear the collective, but yeah, when I was at school, like, someone used to call me Flower. I don't know why. I'm trying to think. What was that? One of my nicknames was a freaking Teletubby name, and I didn't like that one. I don't think it was that derogatory, but I just didn't like it. Poe? Was it Poe? They used to call me Poe. Yeah, and then a lot of my names were just like iterations of my actual name, like Steve, Steve-O. My surname's K, so people used to call me K instead of Stephen. Yeah, what was my other nickname? I had quite a few. Womble was one of them as well, as in one ball. And that derives from the fact that, here's a story for you. God, this is actually opening a can of worms, this question. Yeah, one of my mates used to call me Womble, as in one ball, because I had an operation when I was younger. I had a twisted testicle. Brilliant story to tell people. I didn't lose any of my balls, which is the only way to say it, isn't it? But a rumour started at school that I had one of my bollocks taken out, and one of my mates started calling me Womble, which I actually thought was quite funny. Didn't offend me. And then going to work, I don't actually know many of the nicknames. I don't know any nicknames really that I have at work. I'm sure maybe behind closed doors people have called me stuff. But when I worked for a train operating company, my dad had the nickname Captain Chaos, because every time he was on duty, something went wrong. So when I started on the railway, they used to call me Private Disorder. Captain Chaos, Private Disorder. And then when I started working in the signal box as a train announcer, I was kind of like growing my hair and looked really baby-faced. And Lord of the Rings was still like being released at the time. I think they were on like the second or third film. And one of the signalers used to call me Frodo. Didn't mind that. So I don't think I've really had any major names that have really offended me, if I'm honest with you. Okay, next question. That's the same question. Who is one of your best friends, and what do you love about them? I'm quite lucky that I have quite a few close friends. I don't see them as much as I would like to, but I'll name what I love about all my close friends. Scott's probably my longest, closest friend, and I just love his. Well, I just love everything about Scott. To be honest, he's just an all around great person. But I think the thing I really like about him is he has really good morals, and we kind of have very much similar tastes in films and sci-fi stuff, and we can kind of like know what each other's thinking very easily, and it's a little bit scary sometimes. And I'm the same with him. And I think we're closer mentally than he realizes. He's can be a bit anxious sometimes, and I don't think he realizes that I'm exactly the same. I just hide it in a different way. And my mate Mike, who's I'm seeing today, because I'm still down in the hotel. I'm recording this in advance, and I'm seeing him shortly. Mike is just, I just love his optimism. He's just the happiest guy. He's always really optimistic about things, really logical about things. If you ever have a problem, he can always make you feel better about it. My mate Neil, I just love his carefree attitude. Neil is just one of these guys that just goes through life, and no matter what gets thrown at him, he always thinks, and he always has a disposition that someone's always worse off, and it's really refreshing. My mate Phil, who's Mike's older brother, love Phil to death. Again, don't see him as much, but what I love about Phil is. There's quite a few things I love about Phil, to be fair. Known Phil for a long time, and I just love his bravado. He's not the most confident guy, and I just love how he just does stuff anyway. He's one of the best people to go out drinking with. He is hilarious when he's had a drink, and me and him have found ourselves in quite a few situations that we can reminisce about, and very often do. And one of my close mates, James, as well. I love James. I just love his stories. He recounts things very differently, and he exaggerates, and I feel like he always thinks he's worse off than he is, and I just love him to death for that. He loves a bit of drama, but he's hilarious, and God bless him. I wouldn't have him any other way. Even if his wife, I think, does want to kill him most of the time. And I'm very lucky to have all these like close friends. And I had them all as my groomsmen at my wedding, as well as my brother. And my brother's like really close to me as well. And I think a lot about my brother is he's very skilled. But the thing I don't like about him is he doesn't realize it, which really pisses me off. And he's very talented in many different things that I would like to be talented in. But that's just my jealousy. Okay, next question. When was the last time you changed your opinion about a major... This is repeating. Oh my god, next question. Pirates or ninjas? Oh, that's a tough one. Because ninjas are like sneaky, and they have, like smoke bombs, and... they assassinate people. Not that what assassinate people, but they're just like skilled as hell, aren't they? Like they are like the top level of like sneaky martial artists. But pirates, pirates are just notorious as well, aren't they? They're just like they're at the top of their game for what they do. Like, shivering the timbers and such things. I'm gonna have to say pirate. Because I just like the outfit. Because ninjas all wear the same thing, don't they? Whereas a pirate, you can be proper individual, and you can proper wear what you want, and you can have your own catchphrases, and if you want to have a hook for a hand, you can. Yeah, and you've got a ship, yeah. So that goes with the mountains or oceans question. Yes, I would be a pirate. What was the best compliment you've ever received? I don't know, because I kind of forget compliments when I'm giving them because I hate them. That sounds terrible. I just don't like getting compliments. It makes me feel really awkward, as I never think I'm good enough, and all that sort of jazz with it, and it makes me feel quite awkward. But I think it's probably like my mum and dad, to be honest. This is, and Sarah, my wife, I think the biggest thing that Sarah said to me is just like, we being together and just being good for each other, and her, knowing that I'm the one for her, which is, it's kind of a compliment, I suppose, isn't it? It's kind of a compliment. And with my mum and dad just being proud of me. They've both said recently how proud they are of me for my job and my career, and just looking after myself really, and keeping a roof over my head and such things. So that's really nice that that they appreciate. It's really nice that they appreciate the fact that I can look after myself really. Next question. And I think my phone's frozen. Oh, pancakes or waffles? Ooh. Waffles. That's easier to me. That's easy. Waffles. And potato waffles, if we're on the subject, potato waffles as well. What story does your family always tell about you? Oh, Christ. I don't know. I don't know. My mum always goes back to when I was a kid and being really a really fussy eater. So I think my mum would probably say me being a fussy eater and like making a packet of crisps last a week or like 3 or 4 days, because I used to. In one of my earlier Xtra Speak episodes, if you've listened to it, I'll have a cheese sandwich with cheese on the side. That's what I used to ask for, but it was like one piece of bread or half a piece of bread with some cheese. I used to make my own cheese sandwich and maybe a packet of Wotsits or Quavers or some cheesy crisps. I like cheese. And I used to like make them crisps last 3 or 4 days. I don't know what story my dad would tell. I feel like he would tell a story from my childhood when I was like playing or something like that, playing with my toys, because he does sometimes say about me playing with my Lego and stuff like that. So I think maybe he would say something like that. What's my favourite book? Oh, War of the Worlds. H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. That's the first thing that comes to mind, and I've read that book. It's the book I've read the most. I've reread that book probably 12 times. Like maybe more, 15 times, 20 times. Probably about 20 times, actually. What's the story behind one of your scars? Ooh. I've got 2 scars. I'll tell you 2 stories, because I like to talk. And it does say scars. I know it says one of them, but, Sorry, I'm telling you 2 stories. I've got a scar on my left hand. Just where your index finger ends, just on the side of the hand. And it's like just one singular line. And that was from when a dog attacked me. We used to go around someone's house, a little old lady up the road when we were little, and play with a dog and take it for a walk and stuff. And I remember it being like a really hot summer's day, and we were trying to put the lead on it, and it obviously didn't want to be taken for a walk. It must have been too hot, too flustered, and it was obviously in a bit of a shitty mood. And it was a Shih Tzu as well, so it literally just bit me all the way up the arm, on the inside of the arm, and scratched my hand. Now, I don't have any scars up my arm, but I think it was its tooth that caught me on the hand as I was pulling away, and it gave me quite a deep gash. Didn't have to have stitches or anything, but I just like soaked it in water, but it weirdly left a scar, which is really bizarre. And I also have a scar on my chest, under my like left pectoral, if I had pectorals. Well, I obviously do, but man boobs. So I've got like a weird like scar. We used to always call it the insect, and I had a polyp when I was younger. I was about 6 or 7, maybe a bit younger, maybe 5. And there was this weird spot that appeared on my chest. Mum would take me to the doctor, and he said, like, I think it's a polyp. Like, keep an eye on it. They can go on their own, or they can turn into something else. And I remember it was over in a summer, and it turned into something worse. And I believe they like have like roots, and they attach themselves to a vein, and then or like a capillary, and then they feed off the capillary, which is disgusting. but yeah, that's what happened, and I was out in the garden one day I was wearing like this white vest, playing in the garden, and I just remember looking down and my vest was red, and the thing had popped, and just pissed blood everywhere basically, and I had to go for like an emergency operation to like remove it and just seal the hole up. And when I had the stitches removed, it left a little scar, which it was like a little like kind of like ellipse circle with 6 little dots. So that's where the scar. That's where the. Or was it 8? I'm pretty sure it's 6. I had like 3 stitches. I was tiny when I was younger, so yeah. So there you go. I don't think I've got many other scars. What issue will you always speak your mind about? Pretty much anything, to be honest. I don't really hold back. If I've got an opinion on something and someone asks for it, they get it. Like, I don't really hold back on things like that. I think one thing I will always speak my mind about is someone being downtrodden or being bullied, and Sarah's very much like this. If I see someone, being bullied or anything, I will speak up. What's an unpopular opinion you have? An unpopular opinion that I have? I don't actually know this one. What is there something that I think that no one else does? There probably is. I can't think at the moment. Well, in our household, I like Miley Cyrus, and I don't think Sarah does. Does that count? Again, I think most of my friends are quite open, and if you've got an opinion, they don't care. So I don't think I've ever been told like you're wrong, and yeah. I've obviously been told I'm wrong, but like people just accept people's opinions. Like my friends are quite open, and if I have an opinion and I can explain it, like they're quite happy. Well, I don't even have to explain it. That's my opinion, isn't it? So everyone has an opinion, even fish. What's your go-to dance move? Oh, it's got to be the sidestep, hasn't it? The sidestep slide. That's been a staple of men for years. The 2-step. I also do like a bit of. Like Saturday Night Fever kind of dancing. I was in a stage production years ago, and one of the dancers taught me how to do the Saturday Night Fever dance, and if I'm drunk enough, I'm probably not even doing it right because I'm drunk, but I will do that. In fact, I'll do it sober. I don't care. What's the best thing you got from one of your parents? One of my parents. Why just one of them? Best thing I got from one of my parents. I don't know what this means. What does it mean? I'm gonna say both my parents. I feel it's mean to leave one out. I think for my mum, empathy. My mum's like the most empathetic person, and I think it's nice to have that in me as well, and I definitely got that from her. It's definitely something that she's installed in me, and I'm not taking this as a present. I'm taking this as a thing, like, and for my dad, I think it's just he's quite calm under pressure, and I feel like I am as well. If something's going wrong, he's always the one that's like stops, thinks about it, acts, and he's always the person that people look to. And I feel like I've kind of inherited that if in a situation I've been told that. What's one of the great values that guides your life? Honesty, morals. Be nice to people. That's the biggest thing. Don't be an arse. Like I believe in karma. I don't know if it is like a thing or not, but I just think that if you go through life and you're trying to be the best you can be, and you're not deliberately arsey to people. Like, don't get me wrong, I get road rage and I F and Jeff, and I can be a bit shitty to people, but I try and rectify that if I am. If I don't know, say I'm getting bad customer service and like for whatever reason I maybe like get a bit shitty back, then I reel it in and I apologise, because it doesn't get you anywhere. I've been in customer service, and the same when I'm driving. Sarah will probably disagree, but I have my moment and then it's gone. It's just that I feel like I have to express myself. I like honesty, and I like just to be true. Let's see. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? It would be the power of flight. If I could have one, it would be the power of flight. Or, no, take that back. I can take it back. I didn't finish it. It would be to transport anywhere instantaneously. Because technically, you could just keep teleporting and pretend it's flight. But with flight, you have time to get somewhere. But I could literally say, I want to be in Philadelphia. Boom, I'm instantly there. And I also like the ability to, if I was holding something or whatever, or if I thought about, I want this person to come with me, they could also go with me. So I could hold Sarah's hand and we're in the Maldives. Mega. And also have some stuff with us. Both hold suitcase. Bang. Maldives. On a beach. Job done. If I could have multiple superpowers, I'd want, like, loads. I'd love, like, to be invisible. And that's not for weird reasons. That's just so I could literally just disappear. If I was in a public place, I could just literally disappear. I'd want, like, X-ray vision and laser vision, and I'd love to fly. I'd love to teleport myself. I'd love Wolverine's claws. I'd love telekinesis powers. Yeah, I would love, like, literally to be the ultimate X-Man. What is my theme song? Well, listen to the beginning of this podcast, obviously. Let's have a look. What languages do you speak? English, quite poorly. I've always liked languages, but I don't really speak any. I know a few words and a few languages. I've always wanted to learn Japanese, and I think that's going to be my bucket list thing for next year, is to learn Japanese. I can get by, I think, with a few phrases in French and maybe a bit of German, and probably pick up words enough to, like, maybe get by, but I'm nowhere near even proper conversation level, really. But Japanese is the thing. Who inspires you to be better? Sarah. Every day. What she goes through with her illness and what she's been through, and just the sort of person she is. Like, everything I do it for her. That was lame, I'm sorry. If you were a vegetable, what vegetable would you be? What vegetable would I be? Well, judging by my work ID, a potato, I think. I look like a potato in the picture, so let's say potato, because they're versatile, and I'd like to think I was versatile. What's this? When people come to you for help, what do they usually want help with? At work, sometimes IT support. Yeah, pretty much probably like IT help. You know, how do we do this? How do we do that? Definitely when I first started my previous job, the collective IT know-how was quite low in the office. So if there was anything to do with cables or formatting a Word document or connecting to a projector, I was the go-to person. Yeah, I think people. I would like to think people come to me with wanting a bit of advice as well. I feel like I am quite level-headed and logical. Yeah, but yeah, definitely IT support. And the last question I'm going to do is: have you ever saved someone's life? Yes, I have, but not solely. When I first started working for the train operating company at Crew Station, we got defibrillator training, and one day a man collapsed on the train station, and he was obviously having some sort of cardiac arrest or heart attack or something, and we had to utilise the defibrillator. So me and a couple of members of staff just looked after him, really, and we managed to resuscitate him, and it was quite harrowing, but wonderful experience to see us, bring this person back from the verge of death. and then the ambulance crew took over, and it was quite a moment, really. Yeah, so I would say if you can take a first aid course and definitely do some the automated defibrillator training, then definitely do. Because you may actually manage to save someone's life, and it's super easy to do, and you can't hurt the person. It all does everything. You can't shock them when you're not meant to shock them. Yeah, so technically I have saved someone's life, which is nice. Which is nice to be able to say. Well, that time's gone really quickly. I really enjoyed that, just answering random questions. I think I might do that again at some point. So the day after this comes out. No, the day before this comes out, I should say, would have been my birthday. So it's partly the reason I've recorded it a few days early while I'm away, because I just wanted to enjoy, my Sunday after my birthday and spend some time with Sarah after being away for a week. So, but thank you very much for supporting the podcast this last 6 months. It's crazy. I've super enjoyed it. I will keep you updated on social media as to when the new series will start. The Xtra Speaks will continue. I'll still do the Xtra Speaks because they're nice and quick, and I enjoy doing the little shorter episodes as well. So if you've got any suggestions, keep them coming in. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, drop me a line. Thank you very much for your support, and I will see you for Series 2 very soon. Take care of yourselves. You've been listening to Xtra Speak podcast. I'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button.